See that huge pyramid-shaped tower stretching high into the sky? Yep, the one that's lighting up the night with its vibrant LED display. Crazy to think that this massive building, taller than anything else around here, has never had a single guest sleep inside.
The Ruyang Hotel.
Giant pyramid-shaped construction.
Hotel has not hosted a single guest.
63rd tallest building in the world.
The entire building has been empty for decades.
North Korea's greatest achievement.
Hotel of Doom.
Imagine a skyscraper over 1,000 feet tall with space for thousands of rooms. Back in the day, they started building it with big dreams. They wanted to finish it in just 2 years, and guess what? They got its height right on target in just a few years. But then something happened. For years and years, it just sat there, all tall and quiet, without any windows. No guests coming in or out, no fancy dinners at the top, just a silent giant watching over the city. Some folks around here started calling it the Hotel of Doom because it was just so empty. People kept chatting about whether they'll actually ever open its doors. Will anyone even get to book a room, eat at the top while the city spins below? Hello explorers, I'm Mr.Thinker, and in today's video I'll take you on a journey to that big, mysterious skyscraper called the Ruyang Hotel. Cool name, right? It means capital of willows. Now every time you look at it, you'll remember this story. Let me tell you, there's quite the tale behind it. Back in the day, there was this big competition, like two kids trying to outdo each other on the playground. On the one side was South Korea, backed by the US, and on the other, North Korea with the Soviet Union cheering them on. Guess what South Korea did? They went and built this super tall hotel in Singapore called the Westin Stamford. It was like they were saying, look at us, we've got the tallest hotel in the world. Not just that, they were also getting their city, Seoul, all spruced up. They had this big party planned, the 1988 Summer Olympics, and everyone was excited about it. Now, North Korea didn't want to be left out, so they planned their own party, the 1989 World Festival of Youth and Students. Think of it like the Olympics, but with a different sort of vibe. And to top it all off, they decided to build a hotel even bigger than the one in Singapore. They wanted to snatch that tallest hotel title for themselves. But here's the twist. They faced some serious hiccups along the way. They had grand dreams for their big festival, building new sports arenas, jazzing up the airport, and even laying down brand new roads. But all of this spending started to weigh them down. Their pocket money was running out, and with the Soviet Union, their main buddy, facing its own troubles, the funds just dried out. By the time 1992 rolled around, even though the hotel looked ready from the outside, it was far from finished on the inside. And you know what they left on the top? A big old crane, just sitting there like a forgotten toy. This isn't your average skyscraper. It's got 3 huge wings, all slanting inward at a sharp angle. At the top, where they meet, there's this cool cone that wraps around the highest 15 floors. Imagine grabbing a bite or gazing out from one of those top floors. You'd have the best view in town. Now, you might be thinking, what's with this unique shape? Well, it's not just about looking good. This building, unlike most tall ones we see around the world, isn't made of steel. Nope, it's all concrete. Calvin Chua, this architect who knows a ton about buildings in that area, explained that it's because the folks building it needed the upper parts to be lighter. Without fancy building materials on hand, they went full concrete mode. To pull that off with a skyscraper, you gotta start with a sturdy base and have it narrowed towards the top. Hence the pyramid look. And you know what? Concrete is like North Korea's go-to building material. After the Korean War, they built pretty much everything with it. Here's a fun tidbit. Some think the tower was designed to resemble a mountain, not just a pyramid. Mountains are a big deal in North Korean stories and symbols. Like there's this tale that Kim Jong-il, the dad of their current leader, was born on Mount Baekdu, this super tall mountain that's a big symbol for them still. Though, to be fair, there's some debate about that actual birthplace story. Alright, imagine seeing a dormant giant suddenly waking up after a long slumber. That's what happened with our pyramid-like skyscraper back in 2008. For 16 long years, nothing was happening, but then out of the blue, things started moving. You see, an Egyptian company named Orascom got the gig to set up North Korea's 3G network. As part of the deal, they took on the task of revamping our tallest friend. First things first, they finally got rid of that rusty old crane that was chilling on top for way too long. The building went from drab to fab with shiny glass and metal panels, and all of this cost a whopping $180 million. But by 2011, it was looking sharp. With its new outfit, folks started wondering, is this place finally going to open? A German luxury hotel group called Kempinski stirred the pot by announcing they'd run a part of it by 2013. But then, in a plot twist, they backed out, saying it just wasn't the right time. Whispers started again about the building maybe not being super safe. These grew louder when in 2014, another building in the city tragically collapsed. It was a wake-up call about the importance of solid construction. Chua, our building expert buddy, thinks the outside of the skyscraper looks okay, but he's unsure about the inside. Because it's all concrete, updating it to today's standards, like adding modern wiring and ventilation, would be a big undertaking. Apparently, it's a lot easier to do that sort of thing with steel buildings. Now, here's where it gets a bit mysterious. A dude named Simon Cockerell, who's an expert in North Korean tours, managed to get inside in 2012. He snapped some pics, and guess what? The inside was still a work in progress. A lot of raw concrete everywhere. The coolest part, he rode the elevator all the way to the top, the 99th floor. But this wasn't your regular elevator, it was old school, with an operator deciding where to stop. Simon said the view from up there was pretty amazing. Even with its swanky new look on the outside, the insides weren't ready. So the big question remained, when would the doors finally officially open to the public? Imagine if a giant that was sleeping for decades suddenly lit up the night sky with dazzling colors. That's pretty much what happened in 2018 with our skyscraper buddy in Pyongyang. Overnight, the whole city got treated to its biggest light show ever. They slapped some LEDs on the building and bam! It wasn't just any light show though. The building started sharing stories of North Korea's history, popping out political slogans and waving a huge North Korean flag from its top cone. Will Ripley, a reporter who's visited Pyongyang a bunch of times, said that seeing the building all lit up for the first time was like watching a dormant volcano bursting into life. It doesn't light up all the time, probably to save power, but when it does, it's quite the spectacle. What's more, they've spruced up the area around the skyscraper. You can now actually casually stroll up to its front doors. Not that you can actually go in, but getting close is still pretty neat. Oh, and it got a nameplate in 2018, so everyone now knows that it's called the Ryugyong Hotel. No more guesswork. So here's the million-dollar question. When is the grand opening? Simon Cockerell, our tour expert from earlier, has a hunch. He says it's hard to peek inside right now with all that shiny glass blocking the view, but he thinks something is brewing inside. If he had to guess, he'd bet they might open a section of the hotel first, rather than the whole thing all at once. Smart, right? By the way, the skyscraper doesn't actually hold the title of the tallest building in the Korean region anymore. Seoul now has the Lot World Tower that's about 800 feet taller, but our skyscraper remains the top dog in North Korea. Recently, Pyongyang has been sprinkling the skyline with more tall buildings, but none come close to the height of the Ryugyong. Funny thing, the government used to be a little embarrassed about this mega building, especially when it was unfinished. They would even erase it from official city photos, like, what skyscraper? But those days seem to be over, especially with the new LED lights making it stand out. Will Ripley thinks the North Korean government has big plans for the building. He said that for many years, the skyscraper was like that awkward family photo everyone tries to hide. But now, after its fancy makeover, he reckons they might show it off as a proud landmark of the city. And if they ever finish it and let folks inside, he's super keen to race to the top and check out the view. What do you think lies in the future for Ryugyong Hotel? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell icon, and see you in the next video.